Hello and welcome back to Growler Model Painting. Today I'm going to show you how to paint ogres. The colours you will need are in the description with the equivalents of the new paints, and let's get started. For the first stage, what you want to use is you want to use your base coat brush, and you want to get a bit of Tallarn flesh on your brush. You want to water down your Tallarn flesh. So the best way to do it is put a bit on your tile, like that. Just put a little bit of water on it, and then you want to just paint all the areas of the skin, so like this. You want to try and get a nice even coat. With base coats it's probably best to do 2 thin layers than 1 thick layer, so that's what I'll be doing. All over his chest, all over his face, back and arms is the places you'll need to cover. Now that the skin on the model has been base coated with Tallarn flesh, I'm going to now base coat the pants. You can do the pants multiple colours. You can do them red, blue or green, or whatever colour you want really. But I'm going to do green, so I'm going to use Waaagh flesh, and as I said earlier, the equivalent will be in the description below. So because it's a base coat and it's a new base coat, you don't need to actually water it down as much, but it's still nice to have a bit of a wet brush and a bit of a wet water on your palette. So you just want to get your base coat brush and just paint all over his pants, and remember not to hit his boots down the bottom here, because then all the fabric hangs over them. Just want to get it nice and even. So now that I've done the green, that's what it should look like. And I also did off camera, I painted the hair in the Darksun as well. What I'm going to do next is use Boltgun metal, and I'm going to paint his sword, the caps on his shoes as well as his fist. So you just want to use your base coat brush, and it isn't a base paint, so it's nice to water it down just to get an even consistency, as metallic colours do tend to go a bit thick. So you just want to paint the sword in all the areas that will be metallic. Like that, there. Also want to paint this part here. Some of the ogres tend to have like a shield on their stomach. You can paint this Boltgun if you want. I'm going to use Tinbitz in the next step, but you can also use gold. You can do different types. You can also make it wood on some of them. Now that metallic's done, we're going to focus on the stomach plate now. You're going to need the colour Tinbitz to get just coated all over it, and you need your wash brush, base brush as well. So you just want to get a little bit on your brush and water it down a little bit, as metallic paints are a little bit thick, sorry. And then what you want to do is just paint all over the model like that. Doesn't matter about bubbles because they tend to go away if you keep brushing them. And then, there's buckles on the side, but we're going to do the belt black. Like that. So after you've used the Tinbitz, what you want to do is get your Devlan mud. Now we're going to wash the hair and the skin. So you want to have a damp wash brush and load up your brush like that. So you want to just cake it on there to get it all in the recesses. Try not to spread it about, and try and keep adding if you need more. You can also use Raglan Fleshtone, which would give it a lot earthier colour. Next step is, after you've done the Devlan mud on the hair and the face, you want to wash the pants. So depending on what colour you've used, wash it accordingly. Since I've done green, I'm going to do Beil-Tan green shade. So you want to load up your wet brush with some of the paint. You just want to put it everywhere, directing it towards the recesses. This green should make it a lot of a nicer, richer green. When you've washed your colour pants, what you want to do now is wash all the metallics. What I'm just going to use, especially on the Tinbitz as well, is just use Badab black just to get it really dark and worn looking. So you want to get a damp wash brush and load it up with Badab black like that. You just want to cake it on there, aiming it all at the recesses. So you want to do it on the sword as well. A bit too much on there. Get an even coat. Like this. And when it comes to the Tinbitz part, try and keep it more off the teeth section and more in the middle and around the edge part. Like that. Right, so after you've washed everything, what we want to do is we want to do the arm to make it obviously look like it's been dipped in blood. And then you want to get, not that much on your brush, you want to get dark flesh and just obviously put a bit on your palette and water it down a little bit. Or just have a wet brush. And then you want to get and paint it all over the arm up until about the bicep to about here. You want to paint it all over like that with a standard brush. Or whatever brush you feel comfortable with at this point, because it doesn't really matter. Just want to cover it all over like that. And then what I like to do is get a dry brush, a small dry brush, and just blend it in a little bit at the top. I'm going to get a little bit on your brush. Just blend it in just to make it flow a little bit better on the arm. Make it look like it's dried away a bit more on the top, or flaked away on the top like that. So like that. So after you've finished with the dark flesh and it's dried, you want to get Carroburg Crimson. You want to get your wash brush a little bit damp. Get a bit damper there. And then you want to, don't load your brush up, but just get enough up to cover the arm. Like that. Then you just want to paint it on the arm well as you can. Try and be careful not to spread it onto other parts of the skin that aren't dark flesh, and to try and get it in the recesses as well. Like that. This will give it a nice reddy colour, make it a lot more like a dried blood effect. So what you want to do next is you want to dry brush the skin. And what I've done here is I've done a 2-to-1 mix of dwarf flesh and Tallarn flesh on the tile here, if you can see that. So you want to get it on your brush, just a nice amount, not too much, just to ruin the model and lose all the wash of the shading in the model. So you just want to start to brush it on like that, avoiding obviously all the dark areas of the creases of the muscle. I'm going to get a nice and even coat on it. Like that. You can do 2 coats of this. What I tend to do is you can use this and then touch up with a brush just to make it a bit smoother. And blend it all in. After you dry brush, it should look a lot like this. And what you need to do next is highlight it with bleach bone. So I'm going to take my fine detail brush and get a nice amount on my fine detail brush, not too much though, because you don't want to overdo it with the highlights. And then you want to start on the back, and you want to get the model and highlight down areas like that. You want to kind of highlight the edges where the light would hit it. And not drop the brush as well. More on your brush. Down like that. And you want to do that all over the model. So next up you want to highlight this part. What we're going to use as the new paint is a Brass Scorpion. So because it's a layer paint you don't need to water it down. Just want to get a little bit on your brush, on your fine detail brush. And you just want to highlight the teeth here. Like that. What you can also do is give the middle bit a bit of depth as well, because you can do 2 highlights on this. You can also use Gehenna's Gold, which is what I'm going to use for just a tiny highlight on the teeth part here. Just want to highlight all the teeth like that. And then what I'm going to do is get my small dry brush, just get a tiny bit on my dry brush. I'm just going to slightly do the middle, just where the light will catch it. So just put it on the teeth as well. So like that, just to get it a bit shiny so it doesn't look flat toned like that. Then what you want to do next is get a little bit of Gehenna's Gold on your brush and do a tiniest highlight, like a final highlight on these teeth here like this, just to give it a bit more depth, just so it looks like it's caught the light a lot more. So next we're going to dry brush the Boltgun metal back over on the washed metal there, so get a little bit on your brush, just enough to make it like that. So you just want to try and pick out the edges, maybe just need a little bit more on there. Just need to pick out the edges like that. Like that. And then you want to, on this claw thing here, or you want to try and just get the bumps and the ridges highlighted. You can use a fine detail brush for this, but I always feel like you get a better effect with your dry brush. So next you want to use Snot green to highlight the green, and you want to use your fine detail brush, and you just want to get a little bit amount on your brush, and you just want to highlight all the edges where the light will hit. So like say like the top around here. Just want to just highlight on the legs, all the stitching. And around all the creases as well. Just good to use a side you fine detail brush. Like that. So next you want to highlight the arm with dwarf flesh. So you just want to get your detail brush and get a little bit on it. And you just want to get fine highlights. So you can do the knuckle and the fingers like that. Just to give it a bit of definition. What you could also do is go back onto it and do an even finer highlight with a bleached bone as well. So after you finish the arm, you want to get Codex Grey and you want to highlight the boots. So you want to use your fine detail brush again. Just get the bristles in check. And you use Codex Grey. And you want to get a little bit on your brush. Like that. And you just want to highlight just the edges and the folds in the fabric like that. Just to give it a bit of depth. When you painted the hair, in your Darksun, you should have washed it with Devlan mud when you did the skin, so now you just want to get your bubonic brown and just highlight the hair like this. Just to give it a bit of colour. You can also go over it with a bit of bleached bone as well. So one should look like that. So you just want to get Devlan stone, you just want to highlight the teeth. Like this. So thanks for watching, and if you want to see more Warhammer videos done by me, just please leave a comment, just let us know what you'd like to see. Thanks for watching.